hatred, mistrust, and all kinds of negative emotions. I believe as I talked about these emotions, I struck a chord in the hearts of many of you sitting here. Why? Because I believe that each one of us, at some point of time in our lives, have been betrayed and cheated upon by the people close in our lives. Our managers, friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, relatives, and at times even painfully, our parents and siblings. The lingering question here is, how many of us still harbor unforgiveness and bitterness in our hearts? Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and anybody who's ever been betrayed or cheated upon. After these troubling times, we try to look for a way out through worldly wisdom from our friends and peers. We get to hear things such as, time heals all. Does it? Today I'm going to share a little bit about who I am. I am the son of a woman whose own mother tried to sabotage her marriage. I am the grandson of a woman whose own mother-in-law tried to undermine her and insult her at every given opportunity. In spite of all that happened to these two amazing women, they chose to let go, forgive, and love beyond imagination. I stand in front of you and I believe that I am who I am today because of the loving example of these two amazing women. Today I'm going to share with you the story of one such amazing woman who left an impact on the timeline of history. Corrie Ten Boom. Who was Corrie Ten Boom? Corrie was an amazing watchmaker in the Netherlands who lived during the Second World War. Her father was a respected person who was compassionate, caring, and loving. It was in this environment that Corrie grew up, and her character was molded upon her father. Suddenly, World War II descended upon Netherlands, and the Nazis started rounding up Jewish prisoners. Corrie's father, being the person he was, chose to harbor these Jewish refugees at great personal risk to himself and his family. The resistance movement stepped in and even helped build a secret compartment inside the house of Corrie. Sadly though, a neighbor betrayed the entire family. The Nazi secret police descended upon like a pack of wolves. Corrie's parents chose to never betray them because he was loyal and courageous. It was a fateful decision because that was the last day Corrie got to see her father because he died in imprisonment. Corrie and her sister Betsy was taken to the different imprisonment camps of Germany and was subjected to brutal and inhumane physical and mental torture. It was a stark, desolate, cold, hopeless environment. But even in that, Corrie and her sister Betsy chose to become beacons of hope and love to their fellow prisoners. Sadly, Betsy could not take this torture and she passed away. In a few weeks, Corrie was released from prison. She was an emaciated, mere skeleton of her former self. This was the time for her to play the victim card. But Corrie was made of better stuff. She stepped out and helped the refugees. She helped the prisoners. But she went the extra mile in helping people like the ones who had betrayed her in the first place. Soon she was called to talk about this message of hope and love. She was even called to Germany. On a cold Sunday morning, She was talking about this message of hope and love in a church filled to the back. About hope and love. That is when she noticed a man walking towards her from the back. Like a shock wave from the past, she felt a cold hand of bitterness and unforgiveness hold her heart in a grip-like vice. That man was the one who tortured Betsy. That man was her murderer. As the man came to the front, he looked at her and said, "Ma'am, what a beautiful message. I am a bad person. I was one of those prison guards you were talking about. Can you forgive me?" Corrie was shaken to her core. How could she forgive the murderer of her sister? Then she thought about the message of hope and love. She closed her eyes and prayed, "Oh Lord, I can't do this by myself. Help me forgive this person." And slowly, she put her hands forward and forgave him. That was the moment when she felt the warmth of hope flooding her hearts, the warmth of love flooding her heart, the warmth of forgiveness flooding her heart. Corrie went on to make an impact on the timeline of history. My dear friends, in the words of the great humanitarian Mother Teresa, yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not yet come. All that we have is today. Can I ask each one of you to make a choice to let go of the bitterness and forgiveness and the unforgiveness in the past and choose to embrace love and forgiveness today so that you and I can walk into that bright future we were really made for? I have made a choice. Have you? Mr. Wilson?